Good day and welcome to King Rules Everything. Today I want to cover this subject of backing up your Raspberry Pi Retropie. A couple of reasons you might want to do this. One, you spend a lot of time configuring this, loading the image, dumping on the ROMs, configuring controllers. You spend a lot of time on this. Last thing you hate to have happen is something go wrong, and now you're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's wrong, how to get it boot again. I've had an instance where just before I went out, I'm going to update all the software on it. After several hours, I kind of gave up because it didn't seem like it was doing anything. Unplugged it, plugged it back in. Next thing you know, no boot. So you're going to spend hours online watching videos, going through forums trying to get the thing kind of to boot or get kind of hopefully back to where you were. So you don't want to lose all your work. The second instance is SD cards go bad. I've seen them fail after long periods of time. I've seen them fail fairly new out of the box. The Retropie Raspberry Pi is right into it a lot more than like a camera would. So they're going to fail a lot quicker than a normal use SD card. So the best thing to do is do a backup. Third instance, and that's kind of why we're doing it today, is that you started off with an 8 gig card, a 16 gig card, started dumping ROMs on there, and realized fairly quickly not enough space. So what we have is a 32 gig card, and I purchased a 64 gig card, and I want to take that image and dump it on the 64 gig card. So what I'll do is I'll do a backup, load the image on the 64 gig card, boot up in Retropie, and then expand the file system. But today all we're going to do is kind of show you how to just do a backup. It's basically the same procedure as when you dump the image onto your SD card. If you bought it from somebody or somebody gave it to you or somebody configured it for you, this might be a little new, but basically it's very simple. You want to get this tool, Win32 Disk Imager, and instead of doing a write, where write will take your SD card and dump it onto, or take your file and dump it on your SD card, you're going to do a read. So you're going to read the SD card to a file. So I kind of know my F drive is external USB drive, and that's where I'm going to create my backup. You can use a little file manager and kind of go to that folder or wherever you want to put it, but just make sure you have space. So if you have a 32 gig card, make sure you have 32 gig space to make that file, because that's what you're going to need. But I know backup.img is the file I want to create. So, oops, if I type it right. And device D is the SD card. You can kind of see really descriptive on these guys, so you got to be careful what you're looking at, especially when you're doing a write. You want to write to the right device. But basically, just click on read and sit back and wait. It's 32 gig. It depends on how fast your hard drive is, how fast your SD card is for that image to be created. I think when I did the last one is like 10, 15 minutes or so, not too bad. But you're looking at hours of work, where if you had a backup, you can just easily dump it back on the SD card. So that's all I wanted to cover today. Rule everything.